Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to ask the oral question number 2 of 2017 to the Minister for Industry, Trade, Tourism, Land and Mineral Resources. Can the Minister confirm to this House whether the existing foreign and local partnership policies for investment development that existed to protect local resource owners and encourage local participation in business entrepreneurship have since 2009 been changed to accommodate sole foreign investment, for example in mining, hotel development, logging and other similar ventures?
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honourable Minister for Industry, Trade, Tourism, Land and Mineral Resources.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank the Honourable Radrondo for his question. Madam Speaker, foreign direct investment in Fiji is governed by the Foreign Investment Act. And the Act determines, regulates and encourages the type of investment that is taking place in Fiji. And these are mainly areas where the Fijian government wants the development of knowledge, skills and technology, in addition to job creation and value addition. There are sectors that are highly capital intensive, Madam Speaker, and therefore these sectors require foreign investments. The Foreign Investment Act and regulations currently also, Madam Speaker, provides for reserved and restricted sectors. This means that the foreign investment applications are assessed by the minimum requirements set within the restricted list of activities, whilst the reserved sectors are not open for foreign investments. Madam Speaker, this will change once the review of the Foreign Investment Act is complete, and as I will elaborate. The reserved and restricted list, Madam Speaker, is not a modern or global best practice. It's far better to have a well-defined policy that clearly articulates, encourages and regulates the type of investments needed. In the past, Madam Speaker, a number of sectors required a foreign investor to have at least a certain percentage of equity in that business to be held by a Fijian citizen. It should be noted that, that this was never limited also to just resource owners. These sectors included fishing, agriculture, real estate management and development, to name a few. Investors, Madam Speaker, had difficulties meeting these requirements because of the capital-intensive nature of some of these projects. And as a local partner could not front up with the required contribution towards the projects. Madam Speaker, in order to better enable a better flow of foreign investments in certain sectors, 100% ownership of foreign investments, foreign investors who incorporated their businesses in Fiji has been allowed. And for example, there also has been a notable increase in investments in the tourism sector that's been seen with this change in 2013. And large resorts such as the Wyndham, the GPH, and the Pearl Resort have made big investments to upgrade their services, which in turn generates a lot of employment for Fijians, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with while the requirement of local equity on foreign investors was relaxed, this did not stop a local resource owner from going into partnership with foreign investors in other forms other than equity contribution. Madam Speaker, it's worth noting that through amendments to the Foreign Investment Act, additional measures have been put in place to protect domestic sectors. And these amendments give Investment Fiji and the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism additional powers to approve or reject foreign investment applications based on national interest test. Madam Speaker, we have inbuilt safeguards in the Foreign Investment Act, even though a sector is opened up for foreign investments. If the investment has a contrary impact on the nation's interest, then the investment must be referred to the Minister for Industry, Trade and Tourism. And this is the latest revision to the Act. The Minister has the right to reject the application. Madam Speaker, the Ministry is working with the World Bank and IFC to develop a foreign investment policy that will provide the overall directive on the investment-related activities and amend the Foreign Investment Act. The overall vision of that policy will be to develop Fiji as a vibrant, dynamic and internationally competitive economy, serving as a hub of the Pacific. In order to achieve that particular vision, Madam Speaker, in terms of investments, the government will only encourage high value, high capital, high technology and high employment generating foreign investment, especially in the areas which locals do not have the capacity or know-how. Therefore, a policy framework for the investment is an important policy tool that will enable Fiji to realize its full economic potential, keeping in mind protection of the national interest, Madam Speaker. This will eventually eliminate the need for a reserved and restricted list. Madam Speaker, sectors are open to foreign investors to allow for the needed investment in the sectors, not to give away our resources. Fijian resources are protected, Madam Speaker, and they are protected by the Fijian Constitution and a number of enabling laws. And therefore, no Fijian would lose resources to foreign investors, but benefit in the form of employment and related developments in that particular area, and royalty payments, etc., to name a few. And thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Ndrondo for his question.
Thank you. Supplementary question, the Honourable
Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the question deals in parts about the protection of local resource owners. Now, in terms of hotel development, Madam Honourable Speaker, Nandrong Anabosa has a lot of potential for overwater bungalows. Now, the question is, will the...
Honourable Speaker, how many times have these people, the members of the opposition, been reminded that this is not the time to be making statements? Please. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I think we agreed in this House that we were given 1 minute to give background to our question. We were given 1 minute to give background to a question. So please, there needs to be background to a question. Now, Madam Speaker.
You had said the question is, please continue from there.
Madam Speaker, I'm going to my question if I'm allowed to do so.
Yes.
Will there be, is there a difference, given the likelihood of the overwater bungalows in Nandrong Anabosa and in Ngolingolis, are the lease arrangements different from the leases on the land for the resource owners? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I'm not sure if there's any overwater bungalows in Nandrong at the moment. And with respect to lease arrangements, I think this is a question that's not actually related to the question that was asked. I think it's a question that probably needs to be asked in my capacity as the Minister for Lands. Maybe he should redirect that as the Minister for Lands. I will happily answer it, sir.
Thank you. Honourable Asir Ndrondo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Here the Minister's response regarding resource owners is guaranteed in the Constitution. A supplementary question is, how does the resource owners guarantee the equitable return of their resources after the leasing arrangements or what arrangement has been expired?
Honourable Minister.
Again, Madam Speaker, this is respect to leasing arrangements and the return to the resource owners. If it's to do with the recent leasing arrangements, again, in my capacity as the Minister for Lands and Mineral Resources, I will happily answer that if he directs that question to the Ministry of Lands.
Thank you. Honourable Noikulo.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Minister said that it depends on the nature of the capital investment, whether it can be wholly overseas owned. In relation to tourist leases on native land, which is allowed, I suppose, to be owned wholly by foreign owners, how is the native owners of resources protected in that investment?
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Again, Madam Speaker, I think they've completely lost the track of the question that was put to me. It was to do with reserved and restricted activities. It's talking about leasing arrangements with native lease owners with respect to resorts, etc. Let me explain something to you. It's very simple. You're a lawyer, my good friend. You should understand. You should understand there's a difference between a lot of things. When you're asking me a question with respect to restricted activities within the Foreign Investment Act, you're asking me now about leasing arrangements with native lease owners and their resources that are protected, ownership. Any project that is undertaken within Fiji, if there's 100% ownership, Madam Speaker, within a particular project, everything, the Constitution protects the resource owners.
Really?
I think very simply, Madam Speaker, the law protects resource owners, and I can only answer this, and I'll go a little bit further. I can only answer this with respect to resource owners when it comes to fishing rights, etc. If there is a foreshore lease, I'll use an example. If there is a foreshore lease that is being asked for by a 100% owned foreign investment, if they're asked for a foreshore lease, the Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources undertakes a thorough and comprehensive detailed study with respect to what needs to be the compensatory exercise, and that's done with the Ministry of Fisheries. My Minister Kolusawa and I have actually spoken about this. So everybody's rights are protected, and we do this in line with the Constitution. Everything that is in black and white and in this blue book, Madam Speaker, is followed to the letter of the law.
Thank you. May I remind the honourable members, just to be mindful that we need to have decorum in the House, particularly with interjections, because we would like to hear whoever has the floor. I'd like you to note that, please.